So hello everyone, this is the Sports Show podcast, and today we're joined with, once again, Sean McComb. How are you, mate?
All good, mate. All good. Thanks for having me on again. Yes, glad to be on.
If you haven't already checked out our third ever episode on the podcast with Sean, it was a good one, so I'll leave a link in the description as well. Today, we'll be talking to Sean about his fight coming up August 6th in Belfast at the SSE Arena. It's a big one, big card, so we'll get into that. And yeah, so you're moving to lightweight, Sean, or super lightweight, aren't you?
Yeah. I'm back up to super lightweight. Yeah.
Yep, so you're moving to super lightweight for your fight. Do you think that makes you more confident?
Yeah. Well, of all my best performances, I feel have came at super lightweight. I feel that I was a bit deflated at lightweight. Although I could make it, I just didn't feel it was giving my best performances, and I took away from my ability in the ring and camps, my boxing camps, all like my training camps, almost became weight focused rather than performance focused, and I think that's the difference between lightweight and super lightweight.
Yeah, and you haven't fought in a wee while. I think the last time was November last year.
Yeah, November. Yeah, last year.
Ulster Hall, good fight. I think you were supposed to have the fight in April as well, but I think that fell through. So you just ready to get back in the ring, get another win.
Yeah, well, initially I was told at the start of this year in January, I was told to be fighting in March, the end of March, roughly around that date. So I was back in camp early, straight after Christmas, 3rd of January, I was back at it. And then I was told that the show in March was put back to April, the end of April. And then obviously the show at the end of April fell through as well. And then I was just given all different dates. They were trying to get me out then, you know what I mean? They were like, right, okay, he's been in camp, he's ready. So different, like Jamie Conlan was trying to get me out, Lee Eaton was trying to get me out, these different managers were trying to get me out on different shows. And 3 or 4 different shows fell through. So I was in camp the whole way up the Nile. Like I've just been in camp. Training for a fight fell through, training for a fight fell through, training for a fight fell through. But I haven't been balls to the wall. Do you know what I mean? I haven't been going flat out in camp. I've still been enjoying a bit of downtime with my family on the weekends, although I'm up and down from Dublin every day training. But the difference between, I don't feel burnt out because I've been in camp for so long, because I've been able to I had a good balance between my life and training, you know what I mean? So it was fair enough.
Yep, and you have your fight on the August 2nd, Belfast, as I said there, at the SSE Arena. What a night it'll be. A cracking main event, cracking fight card as well.
Oh, 100%. Like, all of Ireland's greatest fighters are on display. I feel, well, bar Gary Cully not being on the show, we can look and say that that's probably Ireland's best, undercard show right up to the main event.
Yeah.
Every single bit of Irish talent is on that show. And it's going to be it's going to be a hell of a show, like, especially for the spectators coming to watch. Like, it's one of them ones where the show might start at 5 o'clock and it runs to 11 o'clock, but every single fighter is a fighter that you would pay to watch.
100%. Yep. And I don't think an opponent for you has been announced. Do you know your opponent? Like, do you know who he is, and do you know what they expect from him?
Yeah, well, we had a couple of different opponents, and due to different reasons, a couple of them fell through due to visas and stuff like that. So at the minute, we're just working on a guy who's based in Spain. A tough operator, tough opponent. He's a good winning record as well. So, I mean, just one of these ones where this is a fight to keep me active, you know what I mean, to get me back out from such a long delay. And I feel it's still a dangerous fight. And the opponent we're talking about, he's a Nicaraguan guy, based in Spain, and he has 18 wins with 10 KOs and 11 losses or something like that. But he's very dangerous.
Yeah.
So I've watched a bit of him, and he seems to be there to win. You know, when he comes to win, like I say, he's more wins than he has losses, and he's not an out journeyman. He's fought in the past. He's fought world champions and stuff like that. So he's got a higher caliber of opponents he's lost to, and that's good for me. A good chance for me after a delay, and something that I hope is going to stand by me getting the back end of this year, because I'm hoping to have a great finish to 2022. The way things are looking at the minute, it's looking like it could be an opportunity of fighting for 1 or 2 titles at the end of the year here. So it's just about getting back out again, getting my name, getting under them lights again, getting the rust off, and then push on towards the back end of the year and pick up a title or two.
Yeah, and as you said, so you were in training camp. You've been in training camp for months. How's your training been the last sort of 6 weeks coming up to the fight?
It's been brilliant. It's good. The training's always been brilliant. As I say, I used to have a thing where if I had a setback in terms of opponents pulling out and fights falling through, and because like you have to remember, there's a lot of money involved in this. Like driving up and down, there's a lot of money costing camps. There's a lot of money costing and training camp. A lot of time sacrificed from family and friends when you're training away from home. And I used to throw the head up in these situations, but from I've joined Pete Taylor's stable in Dublin, I'm really, really enjoying the training. And that's the only thing that's kept me going, because I didn't mind, because I'm still training, I'm still learning every day, and I feel that I'm getting better. So that wee bit of a delay in my fights is probably going to stand by me for the rest of my life, because of the extra bit of work I've got to put in with Pete. Nothing's been too rushed. We were all going at our own pace, and it's probably in disguise. It's been a blessing, because I know for a fact now that I'm twice the fighter I am than what I was when I first joined Pete. I know that for a fact.
Yeah. And then we'll go on to Tyrone McKenna here. I know you and him driving back from Dublin today. You just finished your training, just getting back ready to get back into the ring again. But for Tyrone, he's fighting against a good opponent, Chris Jenkins. What do you expect from Tyrone? Because I know he's moved up to welterweight now.
Yeah, Tyrone's had a great camp. Again, same as himself, he's been able to focus now more on tactics and stuff he can work on in the fight, rather than just going all out for losing weight and the whole campaign focused on weight loss. So I think we could see a new Tyrone McKenna here. Not one that we're used to seeing, where he comes in toe to toe, and we might get a bit of that, but I don't think we'll get the full fight of toe to toe Tyrone McKenna, because he will bring his speed up the welterweight and his size, and I think that he's got a great boxing ability and stuff like that. So we might see a bit of that against Chris Jenkins, but all in all, it's made for a great fight and a very entertaining one at that.
Yeah, and the main event on the night, Michael Conlan against Miguel Marriaga. I know he's a tough opponent for a comeback fight. Like, I know he's fought against Lomachenko, Valdez, all them sorts of fighters. But do you think Mick can get the work done on the night?
100%. Mick's a special talent. I think we've seen already what he's capable of against Lee Wood. I mean, for me, he destroyed Lee Wood over 12 rounds. And boxing being boxing, he was caught flush on the last fucking minute of the fight. World title gone in the space of a split second. And just because that punch landed doesn't mean Mick is not the same Mick that he was that night, because Mick has that ability. We all seen it.
Yeah.
And we can see that he can mix it at that level. And it's like Mick capable of going beyond that level again. And it goes to show the fact that Lee Wood wouldn't want to have a rematch with Mick, because it would be a stupid move on Lee Wood's behalf. They're going to take punishment they got again for 12 rounds, which Mick is very capable of doing. And Marriaga coming back straight into a fight they got is good. It'll stand by Mick, because Mick he's still capable of just getting in there and just picking him apart and enjoying the night. Putting on a really good boxing display and just pushing on from there, because as you said, Marriaga's he's been in against top operators, and his losses have only came against very top elite fighters, even Walters and Lomachenko, Valdez, and now hopefully McConlan. So
yeah. And lastly, just before we go back on to you, it's getting close to fight week after the weigh-in, straight to Nando's then.
Nah, Nando's isn't for me. Nando's is nice, but it doesn't make sense to go to Nando's to fill yourself full of protein. You need to be carb loading. So, I'm a pasta man for after the weigh-in. People, like, I wouldn't bloat myself in chicken because I don't need it anymore. I need carbs, carbohydrates,
Yeah.
And Stephen Floyd, performance nutrition, taught me it. People go and fill themselves full of spicy chicken and they can't move off as a tea for 2 hours with no energy.
Yeah.
You need to be carb loading, full of carbohydrates, the day before the fight, so then it stands by you on the fight night. So I don't know, I'll probably end up in a wee pasta joint somewhere in town.
Lovely. Sean, thank you very much, mate, for coming on. I really appreciate it. And I wish you the best of luck on Saturday.
100% that, take it easy. See you
See you
later.
later. Cheers.